Magandang umaga po mga kaibigan. Welcome to another edition of our Tapatan sa Aristocrat. Marami po tayong pag-uusapan ngayon. May kinalaman po ito sa mga pagbabago na gaganap sa ating lipunan patapos po naman magkaroon ng COVID-19 at sinasabi na kailangan ng iba yung pag-iingat at iba pa. So minarapat po natin pag-usapan ang tungkol sa e-commerce sapagkat kahit po yung mga kumpanya ay nagsasabi na nagbago ang behavior ng ating consumers. Sa halip na magtungo pa sa tindahan, they would rather have it online. Sabi ng mga kaibigan ko from China, they were successful because everything was online. Meron lang mga paraan upang higit na makinabang ang taong bayan sa pamamagitan ng technology. So we have with us DTI Assistant Secretary Anne-Claire Cabot-Chan to tell us more about what's going on as far as the government is concerned tungkol po naman sa mga regulasyon, paano mabibigyan ng kaukulang proteksyon ang ating mga kababayan. We also expect to have with us this morning si Attorney Vic Timagiba ng Laban Consumer na dati rin po namang Undersecretary sa DTI, si Attorney JJ Decini at si Attorney Boc Labastilla na magbabahagi ng kanilang mga pananaw sa isyong ito. Let's start with our good friend. Kasama po natin si Assistant Secretary Cabot-Chan. Magandang araw po and welcome to the discussions. Can you please tell us what the government provides for our consumers and companies? Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sir Mello, and good morning to everyone who is part of this kapihan. Well, of course, I would like to say outright that under our present laws, there is no distinction between the brick and mortar store and those that are on online platforms. So we all go back to the same law, which is the Consumer Act. That's Republic Act 7394. Although, of course, on the part of DTI, it is also supporting legislative initiatives on the amendment to the Consumer Act, amendment to the Price Act, as well as a new e-commerce law. The reason being that we all know, as you had said, Sir Mello, that a lot of transactions have already, migrated to the online platform. We still have our rules of procedure. They're the same, although they have been updated early this year on mediation and adjudication. But I think that the major amendment there being how complaints are handled by those businesses with Bagwis awards or Bagwis seals. So we treat it like like another consumer complaint, but we noted that especially during the period of the lockdowns, the complaints related to online transactions have increased dramatically. So there is a need to really look into that.
Now, once you say increased dramatically, would you care to cite some figures for the information of our colleagues from the media who are with us today? Yes, please.
Okay. Let me just look at my graph here. Well, our baseline is 2016. So in 2016, the total online related complaints was only 522. In 2017, 848. In 2018, 1,451. In 2019, 2,457. From January to the end of June, we have 10,323 complaints related to online transactions.
I see.
So,
would you say itong pagtaas ng bilang ng mga reklamo ay dahilan na rin sa pagdami ng mga tao who shifted to e-commerce?
Yes, I would attribute it to two. Yes, really the migration to the online platform, which of course during the period of the ECQ was for us very necessary to a lot of consumers. The second one being that the heightened awareness of consumers of the right to redress also would account for I think
who affected ka nito?
Yes.
Yeah.
Online, migration to online business.
Yes.
Yes, parang may pumasok na... Okay.
Yes.
Yung pong reklamo pag nakarating sa inyo, ano yung karaniwang dahilan at nagrereklamo yung ating mga kababayan? Ano yung karaniwang complaint?
Pinaka-karaniwan sa kanila, yung in-order nila ay yung nakita nila sa platform, hindi po yun ang dumadating sa kanila. So it is not the same quality as what is seen, even just in pictures in the site, or it is not the quantity that was agreed upon, but really yung most of it is yung hindi siya yung pinapakita doon sa site.
Okay. So parang dito may violation kaagad. Merong panggugoyo. Tama po ba yung term
Yes.
doon? Panluloko ng mga
Deceptive sales.
deceptive sales.
Deceptive sales, yes. Kasi iba yung representasyon ng seller, yung dumadating po doon sa bumili, the buyer, ay iba naman palang produkto. Kitang-kita mo kahit kunyari sa isang damit na pag nakita mo doon sa picture ay maganda siya. Pagdating sa kahit yung sa retrato lang yung fabric ay iba talaga sa nakita mo nung dumating sa'yo. At saka yung paano siya ginawa. So yes.
Meron pong impormasyon na may umorder ng sapatos pero pagdating sapatos nga pero parehong kaliwa.
On details like that po, hindi ko nakita, although naman nag-share naman sa akin yung Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau ng mga kung ano-ano yung mga dumating sa kanila, pero yung parehong kaliwa, parang hindi ko nakita yung detalyeng yon. But I don't think it is impossible. Pero based on what was given to me, hindi ko po nakita yung ganyang complaint.
Would you say that more Filipinos are into e-commerce these days?
Yes, definitely, sir. Mas madami po talaga. Even to procure yung basic nating groceries, madami nang nagmamigrate sa online platform, even for fresh products. Vegetables, fruits, even meat. So, kitang-kita po natin na kaya din nagsulputan yan kahit sa mga social media sites like Facebook, Instagram. Ang dami niyan, they're not even registered sellers. They're selling those products.
Okay, and how would the government deal with such approaches by our kababayan?
I think the reason why yung BIR po ay naglabas po ng kanilang Revenue Memorandum Circular, isa din yan no, para there's also some sort of a registry even for small businesses. Yung Revenue Memorandum Circular 60-2020, ang sinasabi naman doon is, well, hindi naman natin pinipigilan yung mga malilit na negosyo. In fact, if your sales is only 250,000 and below, you do not have to pay income taxes. And if sales are also 3 million and below, ay exempt din sa VAT. On the part of DTI, kaya namin sinusuportahan yung Ecommerce Act. That is, I think it's in the late stages now in Congress, in the House of Representatives, is that magkakaroon po talaga ng registry for online sellers. So when there is a registry, it is easier to monitor sales of these sellers.
Ang pagkakaalam ko po kasi, pag ikaw ay may kalakal, karaniwan, alam ng taong bayan kung nasaan ang iyong tindahan, alam ng tao kung nasaan ang iyong tanggapan, pero sa ngayon po ay mukhang mahirap sapagkat social media at emails ang platform. Paano po natin matutugunan itong panganib na ito?
Alam niyo sir, yung amin pong consumer awareness na advocacy, we always say to our consumers out there, to the public, lahat naman po tayo ay consumers, to be more discerning. Kasi if they're using the web for this transaction, they have also access to information in the web. So, Google nyo yung yung pangalan ng seller na yan, titingnan nyo kung meron ba siyang physical store or address. Kasi nga, pag nagpapadala tayo ng notice, kunyari kung may complaint, kung wala namang tatanggap, or kahit email address man lang wala namang sasagot, mahihirapan po tayong habulin sila. So, we encourage our consumers to really be proactive also in determining whether yung mga seller na yan ay meron talaga siyang tinda, I mean physical address, you
Mhm.
know? Oh, kasi importante po 'yun.
Okay. Hinihintay ko yung iba pa nating mga panelists. Pero siguro, Asek, let me take the opportunity to ask you, what could be the reasons that people shift to e-commerce rather than the traditional stores with or without COVID?
I think that people have become very tech savvy. I mean, it's their phones or their gadgets, their laptops, their iPads are now part of their lives, and um I think it is really because nagiging na tayo lahat digital immigrants. So nandun na po tayo. So even the way we live, parang nag-iiba din tayo, nag-a-adapt tayo sa environment. And I think especially people with limited time and knowing, of course, yung problems on traffic, kung dun sila sa online nagsha-shopping, tas i-deliver na lang sa kanila, they don't have to look for parking space or brave the traffic to go there, and they choose these products at the privacy of their homes on their own time. So wala silang store hours. So siguro yun din yung convenience ng online shopping. Although meron din yung kaakibat na risks. So dapat yun yung dapat alam din natin kung anong hindi natin dapat gawin.
Okay. Pero sabi mo lang ilan, mas makabubuti raw na puro cash on delivery ang bayaran. Gaano po ba kahalaga iyon?
Ay nako sir, yung tungkol sa cash on delivery. Well, it's a safeguard in the sense na kung cash on delivery, pag nakita mo yung produkto, tas hindi naman yan yung in-order mo, di hindi mo babayaran. Kaya lang, kung pinapadaan yan sa kunyari yung Lala Move, na binayaran na yan, tas babayaran mo yung nagde-deliver sa'yo, 'di ba? Medyo mas complicated. And I think the at this time the bigger concern of DTI, and that's why even in the circulars, we have encouraged, DTI has encouraged yung alternative modes of payment is pag cash kasi there is that risk of transmission ng virus.
Mm.
So, kahit dun sa pag pumupunta sa mga parlors or restaurants, ang guidelines po ng DTI sinasabi, we encourage the use of alternative modes of payment.
Okay. All right. We'd like to give the floor to our colleagues from the media who may have questions at nasa kabilang linya po sila.
Okay.
All right. Sino kaya sa ating mga kapatid sa Hanap Buhay would have some questions? We have ABS-CBN, we have Manila Bulletin, we have Malaya, Philippines News Agency, and we also have GMA7 at iba pa. Okay. But anyway, doon po sa inyong tanggapan, ilang pong tao ang tumutugon sa reklamo ng ating mga consumer?
Sa FTEB po, like I think in FTEB itself, what number would I probably there's mediation. That's
Yes.
a different division. Then you have adjudication, but then you have all the provincial offices with their own consumer welfare desk. So I cannot give a figure at this time, but probably overall for the entire DTI, we would probably have close to 100 people. Kasi all DTI provincial offices have a consumer welfare desk of at least 2 to 3
Uh-huh.
personnel. So that's 8 all the provinces, and then you have also sa home office.
Yeah. Nung araw kasi sinasabi pag substandard yung nabili mo, pwede kang magreklamo. Yun eh kung may tanggapan at merong lisensya yung dealer. Ngayon kasi everybody could be a dealer. I know of friends who now got into the food business, food delivery. Lutong bahay ang approach. Pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung kanilang standards na sinusunod, di po ba?
Opo. Yun na nga po eh. So on the safety protocols, dapat din kaya nga you also have to look at reviews. Yung that is something that is at your fingertips when you use the online platform, yung reviews, para makikita mo din kung merong mga complaints on online na kunyari may hindi magandang handling ng food or may nagkaroon ng health issues or medical issues after purchasing or ordering from that particular outlet. So, titingnan natin po yung reviews.
Okay. We have a question from a colleague. Kasama natin si Oscar Uida. Oscar, good morning and go ahead with the question, please. Yes, Oscar, go ahead.
Hi, sir, good morning. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know kung natanong na po ito, no, pero ano po ang tugon nyo dun sa mga online selling na gumagamit ng PM, yung hindi fully discourse yung presyo ng produkto, instead they opt to deal with you privately at hindi discuss yung presyo openly online, no. And follow-up question to that, ano po ang ginagawa ng government to ensure yung kahit paano yung welfare ng mga online buyers, no? Dahil nga nabanggit nyo, napakarami na rin problema sumusulpot dahil nga patok na patok ngayon itong online selling. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, on those online sellers, bawal na bawal po kasi talaga yung wala kang price tag. Because our Consumer Act provides na dapat may price tag ka for anything that you're selling. So, pag nahuli po sila, syempre papatawag natin. Ang problema natin kasi niyan, mawawala yan or walang email, hindi sasagot sa'yo, walang address ng kung saan sila pwedeng habulin. Ang ginagawa po ng DTI ngayon, itong naka-work from home, actually, yung lahat ng empleyado ng DTI all over the country ay talagang inaatasan na tulungan po ang Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau na mag-monitor doon sa lahat ng online sellers. So, on a weekly basis, it's part of their accomplishment report ng individual na employee, kung yung mga monitor na online stores, at saka yung mga sa groceries din naman, yung for suggested retail price, yung price monitoring. Pero talagang nagkaroon ng order to really monitor the online stores. So ang ano nga dyan is PM is key. Ipa-private message mo para mahuli mo. Kasi doon sa ano nila, sa pag-post nila ng item, di ba wala silang presyo o kaya ang presyo nila o nakalagay free or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or di ba? Ganon. Tapos kailangan mo pas lang i-PM bago sila magsasabi ng presyo. Bawal po yun.
Pero nangyayari po yun, madam.
Ang dami po. Ang problema po natin, wala nga silang email address. Paano mo sila ipapatawag? Wala naman silang physical address ng kanilang tindahan. Tapos, i-report mo na lang siya siguro sa Facebook. Kaya lang, they will just shut down that account, then probably come up with another one and still begin to sell. So there are so many marketplaces out there, online marketplaces, na talagang needs to be regulated.
Okay. Oscar, follow up?
So, sir, in short, wala pa yung batas na will hunt down this yung mga pang-aabuso online. Tama po ba, ma'am?
I'm not saying na walang batas. What I said at the beginning is that there is no distinction under the Consumer Act of a brick and mortar store and an online store. So we apply the same rules. So we use the Consumer Act and other fair trade laws to go after all these online sellers. So yun pa rin yung gamit natin. Pareho lang.
Okay. May tanong yung ating kasamang si Bernie. Thank you, Oscar. Balik ka lang kung may tanong ka. Ang tanong ni Bernie ay, ano yung mga bagong provision sa e-commerce amendments na gustong isama ng Department of Trade and Industry? Madam Assistant Secretary, please go ahead.
I think ang talaga dun is the creation of an e-commerce office. A separate e-commerce office. Kasi para matugunan talaga there has been a roadmap that has been formulated on e-commerce there. But that's a roadmap which I think is not cast in stone. It has to be also updated. I remember that there have been also initiatives to update it. And really, if you have an e-commerce office that also has enforcement functions, it would really help. It would really help going after these online sellers.
Okay. We have a question from our good friend, si Othel. Othel, good morning. Come in.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Are the online sellers now compared to or versus the physical sellers? And ano kaya yung rate of growth nila considering na bigla na lang nag-boom ang industry now na nagkaroon ng pandemic?
I'm sorry, but your line is choppy, so I didn't get the entire question.
I was asking kung gaano kalaki na yung online selling industry versus the physical sellers. Can you hear me?
Okay, I don't have the figure on how big the industry is, but there are also physical sellers that have online presence. So I think that like you have the big stores, they also have the online platform. So they maintain both. But ang nakikita namin, madami ngayon yung mga maliliit na sellers na biglang dumadami sila talaga sa mga especially social media sites, not in the platforms like that we have, like you have platforms Lazada, you have Shopee. Yung mga iba dyan, talagang nandun siya sa social media sites.
Pero ma'am, wala ba kayong study kung gaano na sila kalaki and how rate did they grow this past 3 months?
Well, probably DTI would have under the policy group. I will try to message somebody. But sa consumer protection, kasi ang tinitingnan namin yung complaints. So it's how many complaints, like from the more than 200 in 2016 to the more than 10,000 from January to June, and how we handle these complaints.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sir, no audio.
Ano raw po yung revenue bracket? Yung revenue bracket na exempted sa taxes?
Okay. Under the Under the revenue regulation of let me check again. The revenue regulation of BIR, that's RMC number 60/2020. Well, the regulation makes reference to the train law, which exempts small entrepreneurs earning less than 250,000 annually from income tax. So they have zero income tax if you're a small entrepreneur and earning 250,000 and below. And for sales below 3 million, they are exempted from value-added taxes. So, kinuha po from the train law yung nandun sa Revenue Memorandum Circular.
Okay, we're joined by our good friend, former USEC and now President ng Laban Consumer. Kasama na natin si Attorney Vic Di Magiba. Magandang araw po sa inyo. Pasensya na, nagka-rumble yung number natin kanina. Yes. All right. Paki-unmute lang. Ayan, good. All right.
Right. Okay, good morning. Good morning po sa inyo lahat. At,
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Ann.
Okay, so what's the latest from Laban Consumer? Have you received complaints from people about e-commerce?
Ganito muna, back to basic muna tayo, Melo. No? About two weeks ago, I had the opportunity to be invited sa isang forum sa Bangkok by a consumer organization. And we discussed basically the same topic, no? Online commerce, online scam, cybercrime, etc. So doon, Melo, I provided basic information na as early as 2000, under the E-Commerce Act, may isang section doon sa batas na yon na nagsasabi, sinasabi, all consumer transactions under the Consumer Act performed under any form of electronic commerce is subject to the provision of the Consumer Act. Now, that's a provision of the law, and that was as early as year 2000. Marahil, Melo, hindi masyadong marami nakakaalam na ganun nakatanda yung batas natin. Handling consumer complaints now performed through online platform. That's basically 20 years old. The law was signed sometime in June. Ngayon, July tayo. So more than 20 years. And after 8 years, Melo, I was not in DTI yet in 2000. When I joined DTI 2005, isa yan sa mga laws na nakita ko ang IRR of that section on consumer protection hindi pa natatapos. That's why in 2008, nagkaroon ng joint administrative order ang DTI, Department of Agriculture, Department of Health. Bakit silang tatlo? Kasi Melo sila yung tatlong ahensya ng gobyerno na nag-i-implement ang Consumer Act of the Philippines. No? So gumawa sila ng IRR, na-approve yun, na-publish. At doon, tatlong portion ng IRR na yun ang gusto ko lang banggitin kasi very relevant sa discussion natin sa forum mo today. No? Number one, ni-require ng administrative order yung registration ng lahat ng merchants platform that will do business via internet. Kailangan may registration ka. Katulad ka dapat ng mga negosyante na face-to-face transaction. So, kailangan mo ng DTI business name, kung proprietorship ka, kailangan mo ng SEC registration, kailangan mo ng mayor's permit, kailangan mo ng BIR registration. Hindi lahat, wala kaming pinabide doon na bagong registration requirements, Melo. Kinonsolidate lang namin into that particular administrative order. Afterwards, the second major points doon is lahat ng provision ng Consumer Act, yung mga prohibited practices. Maya si ASEC-AN, maaring i-enumerate niyan. yung prohibition against unreasonable sales practice, unconscionable, fraudulent, no, violation of warranties, violation of no refund, no return. Inilagay namin sa administrative order na yan kailangan sundin o tuparin, no? At pangatlo, yung handling of consumer complaint. Ngayon, ang isang maganda doon, Melo, mga resource persons na present, dahil uso ngayon sa consumer complaint yung sinasabing cross-border, meaning hindi naman nasa Pilipinas yung kausap mo, yung merchant. Naglagay kami ng sistema doon na we can get assistance of our Philippine consulate abroad, embassies abroad, as the medium para hingin yung intervention nila against a merchant that is in their locality. Alam mo, I still remember, Melo, I spent some time really disseminating information to all our consulates abroad. Marami talagang silang nagawang tulong. Hindi lang sila mga diplomatic. Basically, hindi kami ng tulong sa Secretary of Foreign Affairs at that time. Hindi ko na maalala kung sino. Bilis kasi magpalit-palit yan.
Sinabi mo.
Natawa ka agad. Anyway, talagang nag-handle sila ng mga consumer complaints as filed with them, no? So, I really met a lot of opposition sa social media platform, mga online platform at that time kasi nire-require ko sila mag-register, nahanapan ako ng special law. Governing internet transaction. Yun na muna. Magandang opening statement para may basis tayo. Salamat.
Simula pa lang yan. Okay, kasama rin natin si Attorney JJ Dicini ng UP. Attorney JJ, welcome to the program and good morning.
Good morning po.
What are your thoughts about e-commerce?
Right now, it's well, it's exploding right now in terms of the retail aspect of e-commerce. Obviously, face-to-face commerce now is less. Well, it's not COVID-friendly. So I think there's been a lot of there's an explosion, at least retailing on the retailing side, and I think even what used to be manual commerce is now being done electronically. So, for example, my wife has somebody that she communicates with on Viber who runs a stall in I believe farmers market, and you can order anything from her, anything from the market, anything from a grocery. And so that's one way that you can do things remotely. It's not as fancy as Lazada, but it falls within what would qualify as electronic commerce. Nakamute po kayo.
Yeah. Would you say we have enough laws to protect people from nefarious practices?
Well, there are laws. Do they need to be beefed up? I think the biggest problem that we have right now is that it's actually quite difficult for law enforcement to investigate cyber crimes. So anybody who runs a scam online basically commits a cybercrime. And unfortunately, the Cybercrime Prevention Act did not provide enough provision, did not provide enough power to the law enforcement agencies to effectively investigate. So it's actually quite difficult for law enforcement to investigate cyber crimes. This is particularly because usually the starting point of a cyber crime is either a mobile phone number or an IP address. And to even get the telcos to disclose information about those, an IP address or a phone number requires a court order. So it's very difficult for law enforcement to have to go to the court and apply for what is basically a warrant.
Okay. May binabanggit na pwedeng humingi ng tulong sa mga konsulada at embahada sa ibang bansa. Yung bang batas natin sa Pilipinas would apply to other countries, other nationalities?
Well, in the case of the US, we have what's known as a Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty, MLAT. And that allows actually Filipino law enforcement to require a foreign site like say Facebook or Google to disclose information. Pero mahaba po yung proseso na yon kasi magfa-file po yung law enforcement, let's say yung NBI or PNP sa Department of Justice MLAT. From Department of Justice MLAT committee, it goes to DFA. From DFA, it goes to U.S. State Department to U.S. Department of Justice to FBI, and then Facebook, and then work its way back. So it takes at least 6 to 8 months to even get basic information.
So most likely, dissolve na yung kumpanya. Dissolve na yung kumpanya bago mahabol.
Yes, yes. So mahirap po yan. The other problem po natin is our deposit secrecy law. I'll give an example. This actually happened to a friend of mine. There was an FB ad, an ad on Facebook saying 50% off on this very expensive resort. So sabi niya, wow, 50% off. So contact this travel agency. So she went and signed up for the promo, said, okay, deposit the money in this bank account. Ito yung bank account number. Ito yung name ng travel agency. So nag-deposit siya ng money. And then she didn't hear back. She was waiting for the tickets, etc., and the reservation confirmation. She didn't hear back. When she called up the resort to ask, am I booked? Because I booked through your travel agency. They said, we've never heard of that travel agency. You've been scammed. So, humingi ng tulong sa akin. Ginugol ko po yung, yung bank account number and all that. And if you Google it, ang lalabas is a warning. Do not send money to this travel agency because this travel agency runs a scam. Tapos na dun po, wag kayo magde-deposit sa account. Ito po yung account number where I deposited. And so, nangyari po, ginawa namin, nagsulat kami dun sa bangko to say, paki-freeze po ng pera kasi alam po namin nandun pa yon. At in-explain namin na mayroong scam na nangyari. And of course, we never hear back from the bank. Why? Kasi yung bank deposit secrecy law, hindi ho pwedeng aminin, hindi nga ho pwedeng i-acknowledge ng bangko na may nag-i-exist na bank account na ganon. So ito po, ang isang situation na alam na po publicly, nandun na sa internet, na scam po yung bank account. And yet, that bank account obviously is still open. Kasi paano nakapag-deposit? And then of course, yung bank walang gagawin kasi hindi nga nila pwedeng i-freeze yung bank account. Even under anti-money laundering law, naghihintay po sila ng freeze order coming from the Court of Appeals. And if these are low-level scams, yan po yung walang action na nangyayari. So, isang paraan sana is i-freeze na mga bank accounts based on these types of complaints. Pero hindi ho ginagawa ng mga bangko.
Okay. So anong kailangan dito? Kailangan ba ng mas panibagong batas, mas istriktong batas, o kailangan lamang pagtuunan ng pansin ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas?
Actually po, ang sa tingin ko po, so kung babasahin po natin yung anti-money laundering law, nakasulat po doon na pag ang pera or ang asset ay ginagamit sa money laundering or ginamit sa isang tinatawag nilang predicate crime, no? In this case, violation of the Ecommerce Act. Pag na-commit yan, mere possession po ng pera. The mere fact na nandun yung pera in your possession, you're committing the crime already of money laundering.
Really?
And opo. Ganun po ka-stricto yun. So sakali po, merong, let's say, merong isang corrupt government official, pinahawak sa akin yung pera na ako po yung parang conduit niya. The mere fact na hawak ko yung pera na yon is already a crime. Yan po nasa batas natin yan. So, sa pananaw ko po, may risk rin yung mga bangko kung titingnan lang po, kung i-enforce lang yung batas that way ng Department of Justice. Na pag ikaw ay in possession of an asset, no, na merong batayan, may complainant na nagsasabi na, uy, na-scam ako at nasa bank account na yan. Kung ako yung bangko, mag-iingat ako na, wait, baka ako ay ma-charge mamaya. Kasi alam ko na hawak ko yung pera, alam ko rin na may nagkiklaim na na-scam sila. At may possibility na nagko-commit ako ng money laundering, anti-money laundering, violation of anti-money laundering law. Kung hahayaan ko ba na yung account holder i-withdraw yung pera, kung nag-iingat ako sa compliance, sasabihin ko, ay, huwag natin ipa-withdraw yung pera, i-hold muna natin, pero i-require natin yung complainant na mag-file ng case. Para magkaroon ng linaw. Otherwise po kasi baka maharas naman ng mga deposit holders. So medyo pwede yung pag-aralan nyo na isang paraan na at least mabawasan yung pagsascam, especially dun sa mga may bank account.
Okay. Let's hear from the DTI. Ano po ang inyong masasabi sa ganitong sitwasyon, Assistant Secretary?
Well, on yung sa on muting the account, on being able to hold or to access yung bank deposits, is that the question?
Yung intricate method ng scammers natin na how do you
Yes.
go about it?
Well, on the yung mga scammers natin, we always tell ourselves that we have to exert efforts to be ahead of the curve, na naiintindihan din namin. So, well, ang talagang pinag-aaralan namin to put together with the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines at this time is really yung tungkol sa direct selling, multi-level marketing schemes para hindi siya malalaman namin na pyramiding na pala yan. So, scams like that. Tinitingnan po natin. So, kami mismo, we can already detect based on what we see online ko na yun pala ay pyramiding na, hindi yan multi-level marketing. So, yung mga tipong ganon, pinag-aaralan po namin and industry is helping us.
Yeah, pero ang isang cardinal rule, ASEC, if it is too good to be true, then chances are it's a scam.
Yes, because I used to be with the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation and when I was a new lawyer, and that's what we always tell depositors. If you open an account and they give you something, yung medyo of value to entice you to open an account, dapat mag-isip-isip ka na, because that was the time when there were so many bank closures. So yes, when it's too good to be true, I think it is a scam.
Yeah, okay. Vic, from your end, from Laban Consumer, what can we do? Vic?
Hello.
Yes, please. Paki-on lang yung video. One more time. So it's the internet again. Yeah.
You want to see my long hair. Sige.
Yeah.
All right. Eto na. Okay? Can you see
Go.
me?
Yes, please.
Alam mo, pasensya na kayo. Talagang takot pa ako pumunta sa mga barbershop. Okay. Kahit inalaw ni ASEC na pwede na mga senior citizen mag-barbershop. Ako pa.
Anyway. Delikado. Okay.
Melo, back to basic po tayo. I always go back to basic kasi yun ang karamihan nararamdaman ng mga consumer, no? Yung complaints ng mga consumer sa mga consumer transaction, ano? Let me tell you two experience ko recently kasi nga ayaw ko masyadong lumalabas, ano? Kailangan ko ng lithium battery.
Okay.
Para sa Apple TV remote control ko. Is a coin shape. May model number siya, and it has to be lithium. So, search ako sa isang popular site. Wala namang masama sabihin yung popular site, hindi ba?
Mm-hmm.
Shopee. Dalawa lang naman yan, Shopee o Lazada. Pareho, nag-search ako. Doon nakakita ko sa Shopee, the brand that I like, Maxwell or Duracell. Ang ganda ng packaging, Melo. Ang ganda, no? Makikita mo yung description, lithium battery, 6 pieces, saka reasonable ang presyo. So, add to cart. Ganun yun yung add to cart. Binabalangkas ko kasi ito yung importante, no? Ang kausap ko doon, Melo, Shopee, Hindi ko kausap doon kung sino man yung nagtitinda ng battery. I bought the battery through Shopee.
Of course.
Yeah. I think that's wala namang issue doon, no? Ayun. Pero ako pa talaga ng mga digital payment. Ako dyan eh. Kasi nga, sabi nga ni Atty. Vicini, number 1 natin issue yung mga violation ng privacy law. Second, meron din mga scam sa aking consumer transaction. Yun.
Okay.
Done. After 1 week, may nag-bell. Shopee, sir, delivery. Okay. So, COD ako Melo, COD.
Okay.
Aba, 6 na pirasong battery. Ang packaging na binigay sa akin, parang envelope ng LBC, yung malaki.
Okay.
Sabi ko, asan ang battery dito? Sabi ko gano'n. Andiyan sir sa loob, kapain mo. Oo nga no. Ang laking envelope, plastic, yung battery, nandun sa pinakadulo. Magandang kwento kasi importante yun eh. So kumuha pa ako ng scissor. Sabi ko, teka, bubuksan ko. Alam mo, yung picture na nakita ko, Melo, na napakaganda. You know, when you buy a battery, it's in a sealed pack, di ba?
Yeah.
Sealed pack siya. Aba, alam ba yung nakita ko? 6 na piraso, tigda 2, binalot sa karton. Tapos yung karton, nirap around ng scotch tape. Joseph, ano ba itong merchant na ito? Binasa ko uli yung envelope. Wow! Ang ganda ng pagka-type ng address, etc. etc. Siyempre, hindi ko tinanggap kasi unang-una, wala yung word na lithium. Pangalawa, sabi ko, hindi ganyan yung binili ko sa Shopee website. Inulit-ulit ko dun sa rider. At hindi ko siya binayaran. So that's one experience. The second experience is nabenta naman ako ng substandard na Apple remote control. 2 beses ko palang nagamit. Pangatlo, nasira na yung spring. So yun ang gusto kong, kaya ko to ni-report kasi nandiyan si ASEC. ASEC is Consumer Protection Group. I understand, no? Unless na na-promote na naman. Mabilis pa-promote yan si ASEC Melo.
Okay.
Mabilis siya. Baka mamaya, USEC na. Tingnan mo yun, Through Shopee, 2 na kagad, no? Substandard. Pangalawa, not in accordance to what I bought. Yan yung mga consumer act basic yan, no? Sino nga habulin ko? Okay. Yan ang number 1 problema dito sa bill ni Congressman Wes Gatchalian. Ayoko na sabihin pangalan, baka mamaya kayo na-memorize niyo yung mga 17 na congressman Merong internet
I like that.
Internet transaction bill, no? I'm just Tony Vicini, resource person din yan. Nakita ko yung presentation niya. Maganda yun, attorney. In fact, humingi akong kopya. No? Alam mo, doon, may provision na pag ganyan ang situation, huwag tayo ipapasa ni Shopee doon sa merchant na hindi man natin kilala kung sino man siya. Ganyan na nangyayari. Pag may complaint ka, si Shopee, si Lazada, at iba pang mga similarly situated na mga online selling platform. Para yung mga Pontius Pilato, no? Kakalapin ka, pero i-connect ka kung sino yung merchant. Yung merchant, hindi mo alam kung registered din under the DTI administrative order. So, yun yung mga, ang dami pang ganyan. Ulit-ulit yan. Product warranty, substandard delivery, failure to deliver, late delivery, yan mga usual complaint. During the lockdown, makita ko yung presentation ni USEC sa Kongreso. Ang daming violation ng profit peering, price tag. In other words, kahit lockdown, may nagbabayad ng price base. Pero yun sa consumer complaint, ang laki ng itinalang. Because people are using online. Like me, I don't normally use online, but I'm not using it kasi I need some things that I don't want to go to a place na alam kung maraming tao. Kaya sana ang tutunin natin. Yung fundamentals, we need to go back to fundamentals. Kasi yung importante yun as online commerce improve in their business model, kailangan din naman yung kanilang responsibility, no, sa consumer dapat very strong and that Hindi yung basta pag may problema ganda nila gumawa ng apology letter, Melo. Magaling silang magawa ng apology text. Pero dun sa walk the talk, napakahirap.
Okay. Alright. Othel, meron ka bang follow-up? Othel? Othel Campos? Hello? Okay. May tanong si Chris, isa raw sa mga hamon sa digital payments sa bansa, mas complicated kaysa WeChat Pay sa China. Yung digital payment platform dito is charging certain amount if you will cash in from a certain bank account. Even when you pay in groceries or malls, nag-scan ka na ng QR code mo, sometimes cashiers are still getting the receipt number texted to you from your digital payment account. What are DTI's initiatives to make digital payment simpler but safe and no additional cost for users? Assistant Secretary, please. Yes, ma'am.
On digital payments kasi, that would not be DTI, di ba? So perhaps we can, I do not know if there's anybody from Bangko Sentral here.
Wala po at the moment. Wala, but we will have it. We will have it. We will have them invited next time.
Sorry. But sorry. Just to add to what Sir Vic also said earlier about yung cross-border transactions. Of course, we work with our Foreign Service Trade Corps and other embassies abroad, but even within the ASEAN Committee on Consumer Protection, there is already cooperation where there are focal points. So if you have a buyer here in the Philippines and he bought something, for instance, in another ASEAN country, tapos nagkaroon ng problema, we already have that agreement where we can refer it to that focal point in the ACCP, and that will be the Consumer Protection Authority in that jurisdiction. Tapos doon na namin binibigay yung complaint, and then we will monitor it through the committee. And of course, in the still under the ASEAN Committee on Consumer Protection, although matagal na to, nandun yung mga recalled products, you have mga banned na mga products in various jurisdictions within ASEAN, also so that you can anybody can readily access it dun sa website.
Okay. JJ? Yes, JJ?
Ay, tungkol po sa payments. Actually po, tulad nga sinabi ni Asrek, regulated po yan ng BSP. And ang mga digital wallet providers po natin, nire-require po ng BSP ng minimum capitalization of 100 million pesos. So well capitalized po sila. In fact, tinitingnan po ng BSP talagang yung pera ay nasa bangko, no? Talagang naka-ano yan. So every peso na na ini-issue sa iyo ng GCash o ng Paymaya ay back po yan ng actual money. One other thing po, no, dalawa ang pinakamalaki na payment provider sa China. Alipay po at saka WeChat. Na-mention po yung WeChat. WeChat siguro yung tawag nga dyan parang super app. Ang parehong Alipay at WeChat po nandito na sa Pilipinas. In fact, investor sila sa dalawang pinakamalaking payment wallets ngayon, no? Ang WeChat ay investor sa Paymaya at ang Alipay ay investor sa GCash. So yung kumbaga gera po ang mangyayari diyan. Yan sigurado po yan. Ang goal po nila para manalo sa market, no, kailangan makakuha ka ng 60% or more ng market. So ang mangyayari po actually is bababaan nila yung price as much as possible. Kung kailangan nila mag-subsidize, magsa-subsidize kailangan. In fact, hindi ko alam kung hindi ako nagkakamali, parang napakalaki ng investment ng WeChat sa Paymaya. It's some incredible amount. Parang 20 parang nasa billions of dollars. Ready po sila. Opo, malaki po ang investment. In fact, i-google nyo po parang if you Google WeChat Paymaya, ang laki po ng investment nila. Maybe 20, basta, it's very, very big. I trying to remember, but it's a very big number. And the reason po for that is talagang maglalabanan po sila. So ang makikita po natin is more competition, magbababaan ng presyo, baksakan ng presyo. Yung sinasabi po na cost dun sa fees na pag-transfer from bank to wallet, posible po yung fee na yon, hindi yung wallet na naniningil eh. Yung bangko nyo po yung naniningil.
Yung bangko?
Possibly po. Kasi po ang nangyayari po sa market ngayon, kung titingnan nyo po, kung ang bank account nyo ay nasa isang napakalaking bangko, huwag na natin sinasabihin kung sino sila, mapapansin nyo po, madaling magpasok ng pera, madaling mag-deposit sa account nyo, pero mahirap pag-transfer electronically on your app from your bank account to an outside bank account. Pero kung titingnan nyo yung maliliit na bangko, for example, Union Bank. Ang Union Bank po, or ING, ang ING or Union Bank, or even CIMB siguro, maliliit ang deposit base. Pero kahit saan ka pwede magpadala, palabas, pwede ka mag-pay to anybody you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yan yung isa pong malaking problema rin. Yung mga malalaking players, hindi pa ho sila fully connected dun sa mga other banks, no? So, ang payments po, medyo exciting yung mangyayari diyan. Madami pong players ngayon. Pero kumbaga, magkakaroon muna ng gera. Pag-aawayan po nila lahat, gawa ng cash po ang Pinoy. Ang Pinoy talaga cash. Meron tayong phenomenon na every 15:30 may pila po sa ATM. Kasi talagang cash po ang preference ng Pinoy. So kung mailipat po ang Pinoy from cash to digital wallets, malaking ginhawa yun sa marami po, including dun sa labas po sa probinsya.
Yeah.
At least hindi na sila hawak ng pera at mas mapapamura po yung pag-transfer ng pera from our OFWs to their beneficiaries.
Yeah. Pare-pareho naman kayong lawyer, JJ, at ASEC, at Attorney Vic, ano? Pero katulad yan, nabanggit yung pangalan ng Pilipinas dun sa Wirecard. Sabi ng Bangko Sentral, iniimbestigahan naman nila ng Anti-Money Laundering Council. Pero paano kung sakali na nakapasok yung pera, paano natin malalaman kung hindi nakapasok yung pera? JJ, this is also your expertise.
Thank you po. So yung tungkol sa Wirecard, alam niyo po ang electronic money issuers tulad ng Paymaya, GCash or Coins, nakalista po yan sa website ng BSP, yung mga lisensyado. Makikita nyo po na lisensyado ang Wirecard as an EMI provider in the Philippines. Ibig sabihin po, with respect to 100 million pesos po as minimum capitalization, I'm pretty sure po na pumasok yung pera na yun. Kasi hindi yung gagrant ng BSP ng lisensya nang hindi nila nakikita yung pera na pumasok. At least dun sa 100 million. Pero ang pesos, 100 million pesos, napakaliit po noon compared dun sa amount na pinag-uusapan, which is 2 billion, I think 2 billion euros po. No? So ang sinasabi po kasi na merong trust account na based on na nandito sa Pilipinas. I think po ang problem na to, at meron mga isang article na lumabas sa isang foreign publication. Bakit po lapitin tayo ng financial fraud? Ako po, masasabi ko, I think, and na-mention ko na po to earlier, dulot po to ng ating very strong bank secrecy laws. In fact po, when it comes to foreign currency deposit units, basta foreign currency po ang deposit nyo, kahit po may court order against you, hindi ho maabutan ng inyong dollar deposit po. Napakahigpit po ng ating deposit secrecy law. In fact, we're only one of 2 countries in the world that has a deposit secrecy. And that's why yun po, na-exploit po yan ng, kung totoo na scam itong Wirecard, sa tingin ko po, kaya na-exploit nila yun, gawa ng because of the strong deposit secrecy law. Tingnan mo po natin, nangyari rin po yan dun sa yung Bangladesh, no? Sa Bangladesh naman po, related dun sa deposit secrecy, but also weak po yung ating, meron tayong exception dati for casinos in our money laundering law. So nasara na po natin yung exception yun kasi dun po lumabas yung pera. So yan po yung isa sa mga malaking problema po na tinitingnan natin. And when it comes to fraud po, kasi yung deposit secrecy law, tandaan po natin na ang kalamihan po ng electronic commerce, hindi po credit card. Hindi po credit card. Cash on delivery, COD po. So ang mga nasa scam po, opo, Kaya ang nasa scam, ang pera po maglalanding po 'yan sa sa bank account. So kailangan po natin, kung gusto natin maging seryoso na maprotektahan ng mga consumers sa mga scam, kailangan natin ng exception na na mabuksan po yung mga bank account ng mga merchants, especially po dito sa e-commerce.
Okay. Madam Assistant Secretary, your reactions, please.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a personal view, sir, no? Hindi to
Yes,
view ng DTI. Pero my personal view is also that there is a need to really also relax yung bank secrecy. Kasi a lot of these things, scams and all, are happening because they have that shield. So I think it is time that that law is really revisited and amended.
Okay.
That's not a DTI position. That's my view.
Yeah, okay. Pero parang mabigat yata mabubuksan yan dahilan sa pag nagbukas tayo dun sa secrecy law sa bangko, baka magkabukingan kung sino kumita sa komite.
Oh.
Excuse me. That's another issue.
No, limited lang po. Just for
Yes.
just for sakali scams.
Yeah.
Sino kumita?
Actually, ang mas malaking problema po kung titingnan nyo in terms of exploitation, I know this is not related, this is not a consumer issue. Yung tinatawag po na online sexual exploitation of children. May mga child pornographers po na ginagamit nila mga Filipino na children. Tapos yung payments po dumadaloy through the banking system. And deposit secrecy na shield po sila. Yan po yung mga bagay na po.
Pag-uusapan natin yan sa susunod. I recall listening to your lecture on cyber libel sa FOCAP.
Thank you po.
Sabi ni Mike Villarreal, yung bank-to-bank transfer is available already to and from banks via InstaPay, Attorney JJ.
But they're not fully connected.
They're
not fully connected. For example, hindi yung iba hong bangko, pwede madali magpasok papasok, pero mahirap magpasok, mahirap palabas. So okay. I won't name these banks, but let's say you have a big bank with only three letters in their acronym. Okay. If you use the app, madali po mag-transfer to your bank. Pag to other banks, mas mahirap. I-compare nyo po dun sa, let's say, ING or i-compare nyo dun sa Union po na mention ko na it's so easy to move to any bank. Yun po yung power ng InstaPay. Nandiyan na po yan. The BSP is enforcing the payments law. Pero katulad po nung dati po may interconnection problem yung dominant telco to the other telco. Yan po yung nagiging parang isang problema na tinitingnan po natin sa banking system. Nagkakaroon po ng gano'n. Pero hopefully, ang tao po, mas mapaprefer nila yung functionality. At sana ho mag-shift yung market. Kung ang mga depositors, ilipat nila yung pera nila dun sa may convenience sa kanila, mas mabuti po na ganun yung mangyari.
Yeah.
Melo.
Yes, please.
Attorney Vic. Dagdag lang ako ng information dyan sa question ng isang listener mo na bank-to-bank.
Yes, please.
Payment. Experience ko yan kasi nga malaking tulong sa amin yan, sa akin lalo. I don't have to go to the bank. I use my bank. I used to pay my bills now, almost all my bills, via digital payment through my banks, online yan. At maganda yung kanilang security feature, for those who have not tried it, I'm sure you know, you have to have a username, and then yung password mo, they encourage you to change regularly, all my utility bills I pay through the banks. Pati yung mga credit card, isa lang naman yun, dalawa lang yung credit card ko. I guess maganda siya. I mean, and you don't pay a fee. I want to emphasize that, nakapagtaka nga I send money to the homeowner village administrator in Lemery, Batangas for my administrative dues, no, on a quarterly basis. Before Melo, pupunta ako sa isang bangko. Sa bangko namin ng Homeowner Association, kasi outbound NCR to province, hihingan pa ako ng 50 pesos ng bangko.
Oh, tama. 50 pesos.
Same bank yan, ha? Same bank. Sabi ko, noong una, hindi ko masyado naintindihan, nagbayad ako. Nung bumalik ako, naisip-isip ko, makapagtanong-tanong nga, bakit yung ba ako sinisingil ng 50? Same bank to same bank naman. Nakala ko ba many years ago, sabi ko, you encourage us to do banking kasi sinasabi nyo marami kayong branches. Anyway, in digital payment is the reverse. Kasi natanong ni Christian meron daw mga ibang digital platform na nagsisingil ng fee. Siguro tama si Atty. Dicini, no? Kapag hindi pa siya naka-establish ng network through a bank, a local bank, siguro may expenses siyang babayaran o tayo, consumer, babayaran. Pero yung experience ko sa bank-to-bank payment, walang fees Yung pag nakakatipid nga ako ng 50 pesos in this particular transaction. On that note, I think in November last year, September, October last year, sinulatan ko si Governor Jokno. Una, congratulate ko siya kasi classmate ko siya sa UP, siyang aming core commander sa ROTC. So, in-acknowledge naman niya. Pero sinulatan ko siya. Sabi ko, paki-review niyo itong practices ng mga banks. Ang daming sinisingil ng mga extra bank fees. Ano?
Sumagot ba naman?
Sumagot. In fact, I think, alam mo kasi Central Bank, ang ano niyang, napaka-bias niya sa deregulation Parang DOE yan. Pag sinabi sa iyo ang industry, oil industry is deregulated, ang hirap mo silang katukin pag may mga issue sa prices. No?
Tama. Okay.
Ganyan din ang Bangko Sentral. Yun din ang sasabihin siya. But they will endorse it to a particular bank. And then they will ask the bank to handle it. Ganun ang style ng consumer protection. Yan
Okay.
dagdag ano lang yan, information for the group. Salamat.
Okay. Thank you very much. May tanong pa rin dito para sa DTI. Madam, para po sa inyo ito. How can online sellers avoid anti-competitive conduct when they are mandated to post prices while PCA is against it because it may result to cartelization? Posting prices may be anti-competitive. How do you propose to solve the dilemma? If indeed it is a dilemma.
I don't think it's a dilemma because, I mean, under the Consumer Act, you're supposed to have a price tag for every item that you sell. I don't know how it will become anti-competitive. I mean, because even for items that are not online or that are sold in physical stores, I think the free market will determine whether, prices of goods and whether you really have a client base. They will purchase your products even if they're slightly more expensive. I think it's a matter of consumer taste, but for us in the consumer protection group, putting the price on a product is very important, and it's a requirement of the law.
May pahabol po, Congress passed on third reading stimulus bills which effectively clipped PCC's powers. How will this affect e-commerce and competition as a whole?
Pwede lang mag-comment dyan.
Sige. Yes, Attorney Vic.
Doon muna sa una, tama si Asik Andon. I don't think putting the price tag in online selling is anti-competitive. As I said, kanina, yung opening statement ko, yun yung nasa e-commerce law kailangan mag-comply ka sa Consumer Act required ng Consumer Act yung lalagay mo yung presyo ng produkto mo, no? I think that's far out naman yung ganong klaseng opinion, no, ng Competition Commission. Doon sa sinasabi mo naman bill, tinutulan yan ng Philippine Competition Commission. Meron po silang position paper. Precisely, they're against clipping keeping their powers, no? Even under a state of national pandemic. And I think may pro and con eh. Kasi sabi ni Congressman Joey Salceda, ito naman for a limited period eh. Sabi niya gano'n, we just to be sure na prices remain reasonable and stable for the sake of the consumer. Mahirap mong mag-disagree sa ganung objective, hindi ba? In fact, yun na nga yung isa sa mga nucleus ng Bayanihan to Heal, ano. This one will be called Bayanihan to Recover. I guess I disagree with the Competition Commission diyan sa kanilang position na yan. I mean, doon muna tayo sa recovery process, and after that, we can go back to hindi naman permanent eh. At saka, unang-una, ano ba naman mga mergers and acquisitions na ipapile during recovery period of the pandemic?
Okay.
parang hello. parang hello lang yun eh. Sino ba magbebenta this time? Fire sale? Siyempre, hindi ka magpa-fire sale. Iyan mo muna. Magpa-file ka siguro ng bankruptcy under our law. Meron lang tayong bankruptcy, may limit. But I don't think you will sell just because you think you're losing. And who will buy you?
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, pwede follow-up question?
Yes, please.
Sir, kasi ang sinasabi ng PCC, meron namang failing firm defense. So why the need to clip their powers dun sa mergers and acquisition? Plus, nalilimit din yung enforcement powers ng PCC doon sa bills na propose doon sa Congress when it comes doon sa going after cartels. Ang sabi nila, wala namang problema sa mergers and acquisition kasi meron namang mga safeguards na naka-in place na. For example, yung PPP, saka yung failing firm defense. So why the need to clip the powers of PCC? Talagang holistically yung approach ng Congress.
Okay. Reactions, please?
Yeah. Sige. Alam mo kasi, the other day yata, the other day lang, no? But I read this before in a European business forum. Companies, this period of pandemic worldwide, ang problema nila actually ngayon is how to generate sufficient cash flows to pay for the salaries of their employees, pay for their operating expenses. I think at this time of the year, kung ano man yung strategy nilang profit and loss for the year, they have not set aside, but I think bonus na lang sila if they will turn profitable by the end of the year. So, yung magandang track record kasi ng Philippine Competition Commission so far when it comes to mergers and acquisitions and notifications. So, i-status ko na lang natin siguro. Hindi kasi maganda yung i-clip mo yung power when an agency is barely how old? 3 years? 4 years old?
Yeah.
And I said the time, the situation at the time doesn't really, I don't know whether there will be filing of mergers and acquisition.
Okay.
Kasi inilagay mo yan dyan, Melo, i-amend mo yan, magiging batas And then PCC for this period, parang napilayan naman. Hindi tama. I mean, it can coexist The recovery law, for whatever intention it is there, implement nila yon, pero let the Competition Act na lang provisions stay as it is at the moment because it will serve its purpose in due time if ever something arises.
Okay. Thank you.
Yan lang.
Okay. We have a question from Channel 4. Miss Padilla, please go ahead.
Good morning, Sir Melo. Good morning, Attorney Vic and Asek Ann. Asek Ann, earlier I sent you an incident sa Facebook regarding pa rin ito sa e-commerce. Doon po sa customer na pinagmumura ng kanyang rider dahil hindi po nakarating agad on time. Any reaction po or kung gumugulong na po yung investigation dito? Maraming
Yeah.
As to whether gumugulong na yung investigation, I do not know, but based on what you had sent, I also saw that the company is doing its Food Panda is doing its internal investigation. When I opened the link, parang there's really a need to really look at both sides. Kasi nga, I saw some inconsistencies, and that's why it's important that you listen also to the side of the rider. Kasi ang nagko-complain dito is the consumer, although ako naman, I'm from the Consumer Protection Group, but there were some things that did not seem to tally, because he said he got delayed and then sinisigawan siya kahit nandun yung baby niya. But if you look at the picture that dun sa link, wala namang dalang baby. And, di ba? So, I do not know how accurate the account is. So there has to be really a need to investigate bago tayo yung mag-react. And if the company Food Panda is investigating their rider, I think that we should wait that they conduct it. And if we find that it's lacking, it's wanting, then probably we can look into a complaint of a consumer. If a consumer complaint is given to us on poor customer service. But at this time, really, dapat tingnan muna both sides. Although, yung tungkol dun sa part ng rider, if indeed it is true, yung sinasabi niya doon na the rider had said he had put something in the food and he was shouting in the lobby, I think that is really that is a serious concern. If I were Food Panda, I would really do something about that, because especially when you're handling food, you cannot just, because you are upset, say something like that and people will not react, di ba? Kasi sasabihin na may nilagay ako dyan sa pagkain mo, which I think in this case is a cake. So that is a very serious concern. Pwede talaga sila, if the consumer will complain, then it's something that DTI will really take cognizance of.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, pahabol lang po na tanong. Doon pa rin po sa issue. Asek, meron ba si DTI isinaset na parang, okay, for customers, kailangan ganitong kits ay naka-deliver nyo na or natanggap nyo na. Pero kapag hindi, pwede na hindi ibigay ni rider yung inyong food delivery kung na-late kayo.
We don't have rules like that. I mean, it will not come from DTI. No? Yung mga tipong ganon. It will not come from DTI. That is something na I think that the one who, it's Food Panda in this case, sila dapat yung, if they want certain conditions to the delivery, dapat maliwanag yan to the consumer if there are conditions like that.
Kasi kung totoo po itong nangyari, itong complaint ni customer na na-send na rin po sa inyo, ano po sa tingin niyo nakikita ni DTI na violation po ng rider?
Well, ako talaga, I will really go to poor customer service. In this case, kasi nga, diba, pinagmumura niya yung customer dahil daw 10 minutes late. Although tayo din ng mga customers din, we consumers, we also have responsibilities. Tinitingnan ko nga yung picture because nandun daw sa lobby, hinabol sila, but the picture is they're on the street. They're not in the lobby.
It's just a representation po,
That one's a representation? So, akala ko kasi yun yung case mismo. So,
okay. So, siguro naman you can look deeper into the allegation.
Yes,
both sides,
yes, both sides.
Ano pong gagawin ni DTI? Kasi po nag-send na raw po si customer sa inyo ng complaint, and apparently sa Food Panda, parang medyo mabagal umaksyon and parang mga templated statement lang yung binibigay sa kanya.
Okay, on the part of DTI, syempre, if there has been a complaint already sent, then the complainant will have to wait for the date of mediation that will come soon. Right? Within 3 days, magkakaroon niya ng scheduled date of mediation. So on the Food Panda, I think that's a pro forma reply that they have. It's a standard reply that they are investigating.
Good. Okay. Asek, may tanong dito, how much in face of value of online transactions we made from March to the latest month data are available? From Paul Icamina.
Oh, I don't have the peso value. I have the number of complaints we have.
Complaints. Pero yung
yes, because some of the complaints, for instance, are poor customer service. So, I mean, there's no peso value to that.
Yeah.
So
online transactions would you have?
No, I don't have that at this time.
Okay.
I do not know if FTEB would have it. The Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau.
All right.
Of DTI, yes.
Okay. We have Ana Santos of FOCAP. Ana, may tanong ka ba? Alam ko meron kang concerns din eh.
Hi, good morning po.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear me. Sorry, I won't start my video. I have
Go ahead.
Slow down. I'm Ana Santos and good morning po sa lahat. I'm not sure if this was tackled earlier on, but I'd like to pose this question. I covered a series of stories before about online love scams. You know, those people who were conned into giving their money on people they have met, romantic interests they have met on different platforms. So I'd like to know if during this pandemic, because you know there's a need for alternative sources of income and people are just more lonely in general, have any of your offices noted a spike in reporting of such modus operandi of scams?
From what was given to me by the director of the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, none of that nature.
Okay. Anna?
Thank you. Is there any other, from the other offices, have they noted any kind of activity related to this? It happens all the time, and then they notice a spike during Valentine's Day or whatever. I just noticed, I was just wondering if the pandemic had an impact on it.
Well, there was none that was forwarded to the Consumer Protection Group.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, paano po yung mga sumusulat sa email o message sa Facebook na meron akong pera gusto kong i-share sa'yo pero humihingi ng datos? How do you look at it, Madam?
Alam nyo po yung aming yung consumer care na nasa Facebook, lagi naming sinasabi doon na wag mong i-share yung lahat ng personal information mo. You be more discerning about what you share. Wag yung maniniwala ka kaagad. Our millennials were the ones who prepared the social cards. Ang sabi nga dun sa isang social card is, Besh, wag mo naman ipamigay lahat. Ibig sabihin, tayo din, when you deal with something that you do not even see, dapat you are also very vigilant about protecting your privacy.
Yeah, may mga tumatawag kasi, ito maganda to eh. Ang sasabihin sa'yo, yung plan mo sa ganitong telecom patapos na. Anong gusto mong telepono at saan namin i-deliver? Only to find out, hihingi lang pala yung basic information mo. How would people like this get to your data? Or is it just a random approach? Nakukuha kasi yung data mo, pati yung plan mo, alam eh. Only to find out, hindi naman pala authorized ng telecom.
Yes. Ang dami na pong warning yan, sir. There have been a lot of warnings. Banks have been warning us not to give all those personal information to just anybody, and even for from for instance, the telecommunications company na bibigay mo lang. Ang dami ko nang natatanggap na warning sa telepono ko. Ibig sabihin, tayo din, we should also be very, very aware na there are people out there just waiting for an opening na we let our guard down, tapos kukunin lahat ng mga detalye ng personal information natin at gagamitin for whatever purpose. So we have to be careful about what we give out.
Yeah. JJ, paano nakukuha yung basic information ng isang subscriber sa isang telephone company, tapos tatawagan ka in the guise na pa-expire na anong cellphone ang gusto mo? Yung pala naghahanap lang ng data para sa'yo.
Actually po, that's a very curious phenomenon, no? Kasi sa atin po, if I'm not mistaken, only 5% of all cell phone subscribers have postpaid plans. In other words po, even if you have a list of phone numbers, chances are hindi mo tatamaan ng subscriber. Ang tatamaan mo po is sa prepaid. So wala siyang upgrade ng phone, gano'n. So nakakapagtaka ko bakit po nalalaman nila. First, alam nila yung number mo. Second, alam nila na postpaid account holder ka. In fact, yung isang umikot po sa Facebook, di ko alam kung totoo, na-surrender pa niya yung SIM card niya, which is really very dangerous. Kasi pag the moment na nasa akin na yung phone number mo, pati po mga email account mo, pwede kong buksan. Kasi all I have to do, papasok ko sa Gmail mo, change, sabihin ko, I forgot my password. Send me a text to my phone number. Matatanggap nila yung text, marireset nila yung password, matitake over nila yung Gmail mo. From there, matitake over nila yung banking mo, kasi ang confirmation po usually tinatawag two-factor authentication, pinapadala po by SMS. So very dangerous po, no? So if you're a postpaid account holder po, ang masusuggest ko is make sure na ikaw ang tumawag sa telco, wag sila yung tatawag sa iyo. So pag may tumawag sa iyo, sabi mo, okay, ito gagawin ko. Ako tatawag sa inyo, bigyan mo ako ng phone number, or ako tatawag, bigyan mo ako ng sino yung kailangan ko kausapin within Globe or within Smart, doon ako, or anong department, doon po ako makikipag-usap. Mahirap po yung tumatanggap kayo ng papasok po, kasi madami po talagang nagpapanggap.
Ang pinaka-cute dyan yung sasabihin sa'yo na nakapag-send kami sa'yo ng 300 pesos, ibalik mo naman.
Madami po yan, accidentally gusto magpaano po. So yung scam po, hindi po tayo nauubusan, napaka-creative po, napaka-creative ng ating mga scammers.
Yeah, napakagaling. Okay, Pat Santos ng Tribune, got questions? Go ahead. Pat? Pat, yeah. Paki-video mo nga para hindi kita makita. Pat, asan ka na? Wala si Pat Santos. Yeah, good. Go ahead. Question.
May tanong ako kung sino lang pwede makasagot. Yung tungkol ba sa scam na nanalo ka, yung gano'n, without, maraming complaints sa amin dito na yung parang papapasukin ka muna. Tapos siguro nag-alatsamba lang sa number mo, tapos nag-respond ka. Tapos lalokoy ka na nanalo ka or something. Ano po ba mga natin? Kapalit doon, sunod-sunod na yari ka na.
Okay. Mula siguro sa DTI. Madam? Asek? Still there?
On those, yung sa mga nanalo, can we forward it to the NTC? Those numbers that would text you that you've won in whatever, in a raffle, and even citing names of even Secretary Lopez sometimes, or other secretaries or other important people. We endorse that complaint to the National Telecommunications Commission. So dun sa mga namin, we have a no wrong door policy, which means that if there is a complaint that's given to us, even if it's not within the jurisdiction of the DTI, we will accept that complaint, but we will refer it to the proper office. For instance, if it's a complaint about suggested retail price of medicines or other medical devices that are in the list of the Department of Health, we refer it to DOH, even if it was initially given to us. If it's an agricultural product, then refer it to the Department of Agriculture. So ganun po.
Okay. Madam, gaano naman kabilis tumugon yung mga opisina ng gobyerno?
Sir, we have our rules of procedure, and the rules of procedure talagang mabilis naman ang yung we have to respond to a complaint, set it for mediation initially. There is a period of time within which the mediation officer must also come out with help the parties, kasi yung mediator hindi naman talaga yan yung like an adjudication officer, but come to an agreement. Hopefully, if they're able to do it, that's the end of it. If not, then it proceeds to adjudication. There's also a period of time to resolve the case. So under the new department administrative order that we have, I think within 7 days you will have for mediation, you will have to be able to set the mediation hearing. So for 3 days from receipt of the complaint, you must already call out the parties and send out a mediation hearing.
Okay. Yes. Pat, nagdag? Okay. Siguro ang isang cardinal rule, mga kaibigan, kung wala kang tinayaan, wala kang pananalunan.
Yes.
Ganun lang yun. Kung wala kang tinayaan, paano ka mananalo? May mga binabanggit pa ng mga foundation and the like. Pero JJ, yung bang gobyerno may kakayahan to monitor these numbers because most of the numbers they use are prepaid numbers?
That's a very good po. Merong actually, so baka papunta tayo dun sa point na yon. May resistance po kasi doon sa mga telco natin na meron po mga bill kasi na inihain po sa lower house at nagkaroon ng hearing kasi tinutulak po ng PNP na magkaroon tayo ng SIM card registration law. At nire-resist po yan ng mga telcos kasi mahal daw i-implement. Although actually I think sa buong Southeast Asia ata, every time pupunta tayo sa ibang punta ka na Singapore, punta ka ng Indonesia, punta ka ng Vietnam, hindi ka makabili ng SIM card nang hindi mo binibigay yung passport mo eh. So lahat po.
Kung bibili ka ng SIM card sa Singapore, doon sa Lucky Plaza, hihingin sa iyo yung passport mo.
Yes. Correct.
I-register nila. I don't see any reason why we cannot do that in the Philippines.
It's sa kanila po, it's the logistical headache daw of maintaining all those names and numbers. Pero baka ang solusyon po, pag natayo na po yung national ID system, baka maging mas madali po na mag-link ng identity sa prepaid card.
Sa prepaid card. Pero
actually po,
dun sa anti-terror law, di ba, pwede nang gamitin yun?
Ang pinakamadaling way na makuha po yung kung gusto niyo po makuha talaga kung sino yung may-ari ng prepaid card number. Ang pinakamadaling paraan po is mag-run kayo ng raffle. Pag nagpatakbo kayo ng raffle, ang tao po ibibigay niya yung tunay niya na address at tunay niya na pangalan in case tumama siya dun sa raffle. So that's one way. In fact, yung mga services po, yung mga services po ng telco, yung tawag na value added services, pwede nila i-cross-reference yun eh. Para malaman nila kung sino yung tao na yun.
Ganun. Okay.
Opo. Raffle po pinaka-effective.
Raffle. All right. Madam, any message para sa ating mga kasama sa media at sa Balana? Please go ahead.
So our message is that all of us are consumers, and we have to be also responsible about how we handle data, our own data, personal data, when we also would like to tell consumers who patronize online sellers to be very discriminate about choosing the online seller, kasi we will not have a choice. We cannot help them. Actually, we endorse it to the PNP pag may complaint, tas wala namang kaming email address, or if there's an email address, walang sagot sa amin, at saka kung wala namang physical store, ini-endorse na namin yan sa PNP. So we at DTI cannot handle it anymore. So I hope that everybody who uses that online platform will also be very vigilant about who to deal with online. Kasi talagang it's all out there. Although at this time, ang sinasabi din namin, we would like naman to be able to restart the economy. We know when there are all these business activities, you are probably helping small entrepreneurs, but these entrepreneurs, and I would support that BIR, RMC, should at least register, di ba? Kasi total meron naman silang exemption dun sa threshold for value-added taxes and also for income tax.
Yeah. Okay. Vic, from your end, from Laban Consumer, please go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Yung, wait pinapa-start yung video ko eh.
Oo nga.
Anyway, okay. Yung online selling, ang pakiusap ko lang sa mga selling platform, mag-change sila ng paradigm in the sense that they should understand that a consumer transaction is opened and is completed through their site. Importante yun eh. Hindi tayo, consumer, makabibili ng anything inside that site except through their site.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So every time I hear in congressional hearings that we are only a platform, we are like a mall, ano yun eh, naguhugas ng accountability responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If the issue of joint and solidary liability could be a big problem, I think they can be considered principal and agent. The site, so ang basic rule dyan sa principal and agent, the act of the principal is also the act of the agent. Kasi nandun pa ako sa DTI, nagdidebate na kami dyan on accountability liability. Hindi kasi maganda na bumili ka, nagbayad ka, and then you want to exercise your 3R. What are the 3R? Repair, replace, or refund. Dadaan ka sa butas ng karayong. No? Because you buy something through the site, it was completed through the site, and then you pay for what you bought. And sa akin, the accountability there exists. Wag lang basta i-accept, i-apologize, will investigate. When the complaint reaches DTI through FTEB, dalawa lagi ang responsible. Yung site at saka sino man yung merchant.
Okay.
Lastly, hanggang wala pa yung batas na yan, wala eh. Hindi naman matatapos yan. Open na yung next session ng Congress eh. Dadaan pa sa Senado ba yan? I-implement lang strictly yung existing joint administrative order na nandiyan dyan sa DTI. Implementing Section 50 yata yun eh. O 35 ng e-commerce law. Baga, meron tayong existing law eh. Meron tayong existing IRR. Hindi naman nila kinwestiyon sa court yan eh. It was never questioning court. Implement natin. Kasi doon, Melo, yung baseline registration, accreditation, compliance with the Consumer Act, and how to handle complaints, andun lahat eh. And I agree that FTEB had a very good procedures on handling consumer complaint. Coupled with, alam naman natin, pumasok yung Anti-Red Tape Act, talagang forced to go sila to act on complaints shorter than before.
Okay.
Okay, yun lang. Maraming salamat for the opportunity to have been invited again in your popular forum. Happy 7th anniversary ba?
Yes, 7th anniversary.
7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. JJ, message mo sa ating mga kasama. Please go ahead.
Maraming pong salamat for the opportunity to be here po and to share po yung experiences natin. Tulad po ng nasabi ng nila Attorney Vic at ni ASEC. Madaming risk. Pero nandiyan po ang DTI para tumulong, and other government agencies certainly po nagre-respond naman ho sila. Meron pong mga initiatives din po in Congress to improve po yung protection natin. Madami po kailangan gawin. Kailangan po natin maging vigilant. Ang pinaka-importante po is to protect yourself at lagi pong nag-iingat. Mag-research po sa internet or magduda, questionin nyo po yung kausap nyo. Kuminsan po the best thing to do is to use your common sense. Yun na lang po yung masasabi ko. Marami pong salamat ulit.
All right. Mga kaibigan, we'd like to say thank you to everyone who took time out to be with us today. Alam po ninyo, nakalulungkot sabihin, pero dalawa po sa regular naming mga panauhin namayapa na. Si Commodore Rex Robles ihahatid sa huling hantungan bukas. At ganun din po naman yung ating kaibigan sa FEDJODAP, si Kazeni Maranan, passed away Saturday after a heart attack. We can only request our friends to please help us pray for them. At syempre, para kay ASEC, Kabotchan, thank you very much. Attorney Vic, Attorney JJ, sa lahat ng mga kapatid natin sa media who took time out to be with us. Please stay safe. God bless us all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Sir Merlo, and happy anniversary.
Salamat po sa ulitin. Thank you.